The Seminole Indian Casinos presents the Fountain Superboat Grand Prix. We're in Deerfield Beach, where the beach is packed for the 4th annual Superboat race on the Atlantic Ocean. Hello, everybody. I'm Jim Hendrick, along with Stan Lane. We're in beautiful Deerfield Beach. We're inside the Mobile Studios. It's sunny outside. It's serene. It's peaceful. It's a great day for racing. The 4th stop on the Superboat International Racing season for the fastest and biggest race boats in the world. Now, that serenity, Stan, outside our studios, is about to be broken with the sound of the powerboat engines.
Well, actually, it's been broken all weekend long because, as you know, one of our favorite stops here, they have live bands. This is just one big party the entire weekend. We love coming to Deerfield. But, you know, one thing, Jim, that's unique to Deerfield, every single year, right around the end of the race, a big thunderstorm comes rolling in, so anything can happen. But right now, we have seas of 1 to 2 feet, and that means high speeds. These boats are tailor-made to burn it up doing that. The guys have their big props on there to push as much water as they possibly can to get those high speeds. But when the boats are stretched out and maxed out and hitting those rev limiters, well, sometimes things tend to break. So I'll be watching for a lot of attrition today. So if you're ready, let's go racing and let's set the water on fire.
Now let's check the starting lineup of the Superboat class with Seminole Indian Casino, Fountain Mercury, Planet Man, Big Thunder, Hydrogen Media, Key West, Sunset Ale. Pretty good class in the Superboats.
And our very, very strong Super V class led off by V1 Popeye Fountain, the national and world Superboat V class champion.
A couple of modifieds here today in Jerome, and how sweet it is. And representing the B class, the Muscle Guys.
Stepping down to the stock class, quite a huge fleet here. Deep V Catamaran, and keep your eye on Barracuda, extremely fast stock class boat.
In production class, Extreme Stainless, the Extinguisher, Bat Boat, and Fury.
Stepping down to the Manufacturers 2 class, these are the slowest boats in the field, but the field is well represented. Now, we have a lot of onboard cameras now. One of those is in Big Thunder, a 4-engine boat.
Just get up next to that Clark's boat.
Huh?
I think we should get up next to Clark's boat there.
Little conversation in the cockpit. This is Hydrogen Media Fountain. We're aboard that. It's also in the Superboat class.
These onboard cameras give you a bird's eye view with the driver and throttle man to see as they race.
Here's Key West Sunset Ale. We have a camera inside that cockpit. Really have a good view of this race from above, on the shore, and inside the boats. And here's the Popeye Fountain V1.
Super V boat, and also a boat on the Fountain Mercury. Now, this boat here, also a Super V class boat. Onboard camera from the driver's eye view.
Here's a modified boat, the Interome. Interome, we are aboard now in that modified class. Got a pretty good view from the cockpit of the driver in this one. The big boats are coming on plane. We're getting set for the start stand.
The pace boat has that yellow flag right now. All the drivers are watching for that green. Let's jump on board Big Thunder.
Okay.
Communications between throttle man and the driver as we go aboard James Shade, the driver of the Key West Sunset Ale. Ken Silverman on the throttles.
You hear those supercharged whining. We have a green flag, Jim. This race is official, and these boats are taking off, and they're taking off fast.
Planet Man, Big Thunder, Hydrogen Media, all out there in front, side by side. Here's a beautiful start.
There's no sight better than this. In the Deerfield Beach race, Jim, you have a great bird's eye view, especially out there on the pier. You are so close, you can almost reach out and shake hands with those guys as they go by.
A lot of fans here at Deerfield Beach, and some come from down south, as far south as Key West, and over from Orlando. We've got a good crowd on hand, and look at those boats hit the waves as they head south down the beach here on the Atlantic Ocean.
Listen to those superchargers whine. Let's go on board Big Thunder.
What do you got over there?
No, they didn't wash us down.
Well, they almost got washed down, though, Jim. Key West Sunset Ale is an aluminum boat. The other boats are all fiberglass, and they have a dual supercharging system on both engines. Very unique.
What we do different, we fuel injected with the superchargers. Most of the other boats run carburetors. And with 2 superchargers on them, the Whipple chargers by Auto Rotor make a lot more boost and don't rob any horsepower. It's a great system.
Key West Sunset Ale currently in 5th place, followed by the number 3 Seminole Indian Casino in 6th. And number 7 Fountain Mercury also in the run as they head south down the Atlantic Ocean coastline of beautiful Deerfield Beach, Florida.
On the far side, that fountain boat is really putting the coals to the fire now. He's really getting some good speed here.
Lots of position changing here in the front stretch of this race early on, and some pretty good water, Stan.
Great water, 1 to 2 foot seas. These boats are the biggest, fastest, and most expensive in the world. These guys spend so much money on these boats so fast their wallets have skid marks.
That's a funny line, Stan. I didn't know you were that funny.
Thank you.
Into the turn now, and you got to watch these big boats, especially 50-footer, Stan, because they can do a little hook and a roll. We've seen that happen.
The cats tend to corner flat, and they will like slip out on you. On board now, Hugh Fuller. He's the driver of this boat, the Hydrogen Media Fountain. And of course, Jerry Gilbreth on board working the throttles and trim.
They're currently in second place. The Seminole. Here is your 7th place boat, the Seminole Indian Casino, also in the Superboat class, in the turn here on the Atlantic Ocean. And I go into the leader. It is number 8, Planet Man, Hydrogen Media, Big Thunder in that 1, 2, 3 order. We'll be back in a moment. The Fountain Superboat Grand Prix is brought to you by the city of Deerfield Beach. By Fountain is a difference. And by Seminole Indian Casinos, catch the excitement. Well, the Planet Man's still leading, Stan, but getting some heat from number 11, Hydrogen Media, and the Big Thunder, the number 10 boat, Big Thunder Marine's also up in there.
Yeah, we have 2 4-engine boats here in Deerfield, the Big Thunder and also the Seminole Indian Casino boat, which is kind of holding back right now. I don't know if he's playing cat and mouse or what, but this Planet Man boat, Tim Chasuli, he's back in offshore after a 10-year absence and just doing great. This guy can fly.
We're on board the Hydrogen Media, who is 2nd place. Hugh Fuller, the driver, and the veteran Jerry Gilbreth on the throttles.
Whoa, they caught some air there. You heard them come off those throttles. The boat kind of sailed a little bit. So the water, Jim, as we speak, is getting bigger and bigger.
There's the Planet Man.
Planet Man.
The Planet Man is going to get a challenge. The battle for the lead as Hydrogen Media comes almost side by side here in the turn.
What he's got to do, though, is avoid that rooster tail. He does not want to get washed down. These boats do not ingest salt water very well.
Looking good on the turn. He's got the number 1 boat on the left. That's the Planet Man, and now he starts to straighten it out, coming down, heading toward the south, down along the beach. The speed picks up, and this is going to be a battle.
They're coming down now, headed south. Look at Tim Chasuli catching some air. He's got that boat trimmed all the way out right now, trying to reduce the drag, reduce the friction on the water to get maximum speed.
So first place is Planet Man, challenged by the 2nd place boat, Hydrogen Media. Here is the 3rd place boat, Doug Kelly, and Big Thunder Marine with Bob Morgan.
That swishing, hissing noise you hear are the driver and throttle man breathing a mixture of nitrogen and oxygen. It's called nitrox. Some teams do this. Should the boat roll over or nose in, they don't have to fumble around in the dark water and try to find the air to breathe. They already got it there all the time during the race.
Joe Stroh, Peter Meyer on board here, the Fountain Mercury, and doing a fine job. You can see that helmet bouncing around. Whoa, come out of the water and take a good ride.
Boy, these guys do take a pounding. When they get up the next morning, Jim, the only thing that doesn't hurt on them is their pajamas.
We're on board the V1 Popeye Fountain. Looking back, they're 6th overall. Earlier race, they had some problems, and Dominic Visconti told us about it just prior to putting his boat in the water.
We had a water pickup break on us. It was a weld that failed, and the water pickup is an 1 1/4 inch diameter aluminum pipe. Consequently, we had one engine not getting much water at all, and the boat was filling up with water. By the time we realized what happened and stopped, we had probably 1.5 feet of water in the back of the boat, and my throttleman, John Tomlinson, actually took his shirt off and stuffed it into the hole to slow down the water. And that engine acted as a bilge pump along with the other pumps to clear the water out, and we were able to make it back to harbor without sinking.
And Dominic Visconti Jr. was referring, of course, to his problems at Key West, but the boat's running very good here, Stan.
That it certainly is. This boat, though, is coming up to pass. Of course, he's in a different class. A very fast boat, 50 feet, the biggest boat in the fleet. The Seminole Indian Casino. Dan Campbell letting her all unwind now.
And the excitement continues here at Deerfield Beach as we look down from our helicopters. Here's the stock, Manufacturers 2, Production A, and the B class, all coming in like the invasion of Normandy in World War II as the green flag is about to drop, and this fleet will now begin their racing.
And, Jim, these are the smallest boats in the fleet now. They'll be catching some air because we mentioned earlier the water is picking up here at Deerfield. This is going to be some high-flying action.
Boy, look at the wakes on this salt water. You can see where they've been. They draw a path along the water, especially from the helicopter shots. You can see the markings of where the boats are going. And look, it is Stainless Marine out there in front, that little black boat. Look at him leave the water.
Yeah, he's had a great run all year long. But the Mikazuki, the F2 boat, we're on board them right now. You see the throttle man on your right. He's seesawing those throttles. The navigator in the middle, and of course the driver on your left. He's got those guns flexed because he's really having to fight the wheel, Jim.
All three crew members in their bolsters absorbing the shock of the water against the hull by their knees, and the battle continues.
It sure does. And the Fountain Parts Unlimited Marine also, he's hammering down now, closing in on Mikazuki.
Boy, I'll tell you, along the shore here's Deerfield Beach, and from the hotels, they're getting one good look at a fine Superboat International offshore event. Oh, party time always on the weekends. The locals come out, the drivers relax, everybody gets into the act, including Larry Deerfield, the city manager, and his group. They hoop it up. And we had some good entertainment also, didn't we?
Deerfield brings in a major concert every year. That was Air Supply. We had the Doobie Brothers last year. Always have a great time here. It's a non-stop party.
The locals have fun, so do the racers. We'll be back with more racing after this. I'm out. Celebrating SBI's 4th year down here in Broward County, as we saw City Manager Larry Deerfield doing earlier.
I tell you what, you've got activities planned around the clock. You can see all the tents behind us here. We've had concerts, all kind of stuff going on. It's just nonstop fun here in Deerfield.
Well, we try to make it a whole weekend, not just a single race event. And people are starting to understand that. We have a lot of visitors. Most of the hotels are fully booked. A lot of people that are here from the Midwest, Northeast, pretty excited.
From all over the world, you do a great job. We appreciate it. Thanks for having us.
The racing continues here on the Atlantic Ocean. The number 11 Hydrogen Media Fountain and the number 8 boat Planet Man are battling for first place, and aboard the Hydrogen Media Fountain we are.
The bow of Hydrogen Media right on the stern of Planet Man. It looks like he's gaining a little bit of momentum. He may make the pass.
They're gonna, here it comes, side by side, creep up, and look at this action. It's beautiful.
Oh, practically trading some gel coat as they go by in the Hydrogen Media Fountain. He is their race leader.
Oh my, this battle continues. Hugh Fuller, Hydrogen Media Fountain, handling the wheel, getting open water now. He's in the lead.
Big Thunder appears to be slowing down, Jim. They must have a problem.
Go inside.
I think we better stop. Shut it down, run another 3. Huh? Shut it down and run another 3.
They have lost an engine. They're closing it down. You can hear the conversation.
What do you think? We want to shut it down.
The good news is they got 3 more to go on.
Well, let's see if they continue. Curtis Francois, the driver of Fountain Mercury, with Formula King Mike Seabold, also on the throttles in this one.
Looks like Big Thunder's getting back on plane, Jim. We mentioned they had 3 more motors to go. They got plenty of horsepower.
Well, Stan, they're getting organized back in the office there, the cockpit, and starting to come on plane. Meanwhile, the Fountain Mercury moves into 3rd place. New driver Curtis Francois, who may be new to SBI, but by no means is this man new to racing.
Primarily, I've raced SCCA open wheel cars at the club level and at the national and pro level as well. Just love to go fast, and no better guys to be hanging out with than Mike Siebel and Reggie Fountain, if you want to do that.
Well, Curtis's tag team partner inside the cockpit, if you will, is none other than tunnel boat legend Mike Siebel.
I raced with Reggie years ago in the Formula One, and I knew if we wanted to go offshore racing, I mean, we needed to see this man right here because he's definitely the king of the offshore, and I mean, he's got the best ride, and that's why we're here.
And Reggie Fountain up in a helicopter, I believe, taking a good look at how his boat's performance is maintained, and that's the Fountain Mercury in 3rd place in Superboat right now, Stan.
Reggie's like a proud papa. He's got all his boats here, and he's just got that big smile on his face. And this boat's really coming on now. Dan Campbell, Joe Vasquez III. This boat's really looking good, Jim.
Dan Campbell on the throttles, and as they go, the farther they go, the lighter, the more gas they burn off, the faster this heavy boat will be.
That is exactly right. 4 engines and 2 outdrives, 2 Arneson outdrives. Woo, they just shot past Big Thunder, who's still trying to get their speed back up after going off plane.
B-76 Fountain Mercury, 6th place overall. Peter Meyer and Joe Stroh, what a team they make.
Well, they served great racers. They've been around the circuit for a long, long time from the New York area. We're on board their boat right now. It's a new boat, very, very lightweight, twin-step bottom. And listen to those superchargers whine. They just sing a song to me, Jim.
Popeye, Dominic Visconti Jr., owner and driver, John Tomlinson, the veteran, on the throttles of the Popeye Fountain, and we're taking a good look off its stern back at the rest of the fleet.
You can check out those twin staggered bulges there on the hatch. That means the motors are staggered. That means they're right in the middle of the boat for better balance.
A lot of people say, is that the old Popeye, a new version? I said, no, different company, different drivers, same name, and we'll be seeing our buddies from Popeye.
Al Copeland and company, yes, sir.
They'll be at the Worlds in force.
Modified class, he's in second place right now. How sweet it is will be even sweeter if he can catch the first place boat in modified into Rome. And here we see Fire Water, an older design hull, but it's been very consistent. They'd love to get another victory. That'd make 2 this year for them. Bob Oliver in there. He's the tallest man in offshore, Jim. He's so tall, if he falls, he has to make 2 trips.
Oh, no! Da-da-da-da-da-da. You're really funny today, Sam. That's 2 in a row. You're on a roll. And so is this boat, the Interome, in first place in class. And they're having a great time on the waters here at Deerfield Beach. Stan Lane was in the camp earlier to talk to the crew.
In modified class, Interome Racing, this 36-foot cat's been a real warhorse over the years, Jay.
Yes, it has. We've won quite a few races with the boat, and last year we won the national championship. We hope to do the same this year.
Dan, your primary competition, of course, How Sweet It Is, too, which has been a very, very fast hull over the years, but it's a little shorter than your boat.
That's correct. We got the length here, 36 feet. The seas have been calmer, so we're looking forward to a rougher ocean.
And he's getting his wish as the ocean is starting to churn up a little bit rougher here at Deerfield Beach, Florida. At least it's a warm day. The fans are on the shoreline enjoying the water, enjoying the race, and we are too. So stay with us. We'll be right back. Florida, I'm Jim Hendrick, along with Stan Lane, and the Seminole Indian Casinos presents the Deerfield Prix, and they're getting a little rougher for the smaller boats out here on this course, Stan.
Yeah, the winds are picking up, we're being told from race control, and when the winds pick up, so do the waves, and that makes these boats take some air, but that's the way I like it. I like that rough stuff.
Different sizes, different shapes, different hulls, different drivers, different crews. Lots to be seen here at Deerfield Beach.
Back on board Mikosuke Indian Gaming, still doing a great job, leading the way, showing their transom to all the other boats in the F2 class right now. You see those full coverage face helmets, that would protect the face should they nose in.
As we look at Renegade, 3rd place in class, those face plates have to pop out. If water rushes underneath their neck, as they dive in, it could break their neck. It has to give some.
My stockbroker wears a crash helmet. What's up with that?
He knows that you buy bad.
Wow, Child Bank Cafe looking good, and they are putting some more speed in that boat. 37-foot monohull.
We're at the north end of the course here at Deerfield Beach. A11, the extinguisher battling. Also the F275.
This little boat here on the inside, it's a very cut-down deck. It's very fast in certain conditions, but they're having a little bit of a struggle today.
Low to the ground, in line, the driver in front, the throttle man over his head, looking right over his shoulder.
Speaking of over their head, what a bird's-eye view from our copter cam here of Fury. Woo! Doing a little chine walking, got that thing trimmed out real high.
They're currently 3rd in the A class in the bat boat.
Yeah.
Yes. I love the sound effects. 4th in class is the bat boat.
Straight from Gotham City and looking good. A21.
Holy cow! Wow, Batman! Look at this!
Easy, Robin, easy.
Okay, 4th in class, and there's our leader as we come into the south turn. It is the Extreme Stainless Marine, 1st in the A class and doing, whoa! Way out of the water they go.
You know, this boat, it took a while to get this thing dialed in, but it is certainly, definitely dialed in now. He is really, really looking good.
On board the Key West Sunset Ale, and seems they might have a problem. Oh, they are, Stan. He's got that hand waving right now. Oh, they are completely coming off plane.
Oh, that's a shame.
A racer's nightmare.
Ooh, that doesn't sound good. Listen.
Nope, doesn't sound good at all. Here's the Seminole. Fourth in class, the number 3 boat, Dan Campbell. You know, having handling problems, they said earlier, but you don't look like it now.
Well, it does appear to be slowing down some, Jim, and I'm checking out the rooster tail, and one side, maybe the starboard side, it looks like it's a little bit ragged, so he may be having some steering problems, some trim problems.
Speed and driver's ability is not the whole racing game. Mechanical, attrition, you must finish. Hugh Fuller, Hydrogen Media Fountain, the driver. Jerry Gilbert, the veteran throttle man, doing very well. But they're second in class, trying to catch the Planet Man, who is the current leader.
Yeah, they're going to have to pick up some speed, and of course they could be hanging back a little bit. A lot of these guys do that. They'll just stay right off the transom of the leader, and then the last 2 laps they will put the hammer down and try to pass.
On the right, here is your leader overall, and in Superboat class, and to the left, just out of the picture, the second place boat. Tim Chasuli, the driver. Russ Houston, the throttle man, getting back on plane, heading south down the shoreline, and looking for a checkered flag.
On board now with Hydrogen Media Fountain. Earlier, Jim talked to the team about the points race. It's very, very close.
Race points for this race here today, very close between Hydrogen Media Fountain and, of course, Planet Man. Now, you guys got a little plan today, do you?
Well, we want to go out and win the race. We just need to finish in front of those, and we can hopefully tie for the lead and take back over the leads. That's what we're here for, hopefully.
Now, Jerry, you have it all kind of figured out. You take a first, they take a second, you're tied?
We're tied and looking forward for the next race after this. So, but we still got a lot of water to put under this thing today to make sure that we can get that win, Jim.
Hydrogen Media, second place, chasing the number 8, the Planet Man, and the distance is not too far apart.
So close, Jim, you could almost lay a baby blanket over them. I mean, they are tight. This is great racing, and the only place you see racing like this with these kind of boats, these kind of speeds, is right here on SBI and Speed Vision.
I'll tell you one thing. It's very keen competition, very exciting, very competitive, and not only do the drivers and crews love it, but the fans along Deerfield Beach, they love it too. Look at them side by side, very close. More action forthcoming from Deerfield Beach. Please stay tuned. Aren't they cute? Powerboat racing fans.
Oh, they start them young, don't they?
Back to action on the inside, the Planet Man making that turn in close as he can. Meanwhile, on the very outside, in second place, is the Hydrogen Media. Here he comes through the rooster tail, as you can see. Hydrogen Media, that twin pods connected by a wing, and really riding the water good here today.
Yeah, the reason why these catamarans are faster than the monohull deep V's is because of that wing. They pack the air that raises the boat up off the water, reducing friction, raising the speed.
Here we have the view of the driver, Hugh Fuller, right over his shoulder. Hydrogen Media Fountain coming on, the number 11 boat, currently second, and now watch him pick up in the straightaway and start to close the gap on this boat, your current leader.
I'm thinking the Hydrogen Media Fountain apparently put on some larger props, and that's giving him that more top-end speed on those long straights. The Planet Man with the smaller props gets a better push going around those turns.
Meanwhile, the Seminole Indian Casino, third place in this class, chasing those 2 leaders.
And there is the Chief. Chief Max on the pier always enjoys SBI action.
And he enjoys this boat stand because in Key West he took his very first ride. Dan Campbell took him out and he fell in love with this sport.
So much so that he sponsors Dan Campbell's boat right now, hence the Seminole Indian Casino name placard across the boat.
Big Thunder Marine, Doug Kelly, the driver. The throttle man, Bob Morgan, had a problem earlier. They've recouped. They're currently 4th in class and 5th overall. They're hanging in there after that engine shut down.
They're running on 3 engines. That still gives them 3,000 horsepower. And this boat is actually plenty fast with that. If the other boats break, they could still win. Big Thunder Marine. Last time we saw him was in '99 at the Worlds, and Jim was in their camp a little earlier and talked to Bob Morgan.
The last time we saw Big Thunder, upside down at Key West, but they're back for the first time in the Millennium. Bob Morgan, where the heck you been?
We've been putting this boat together. We've been working all winter on it. It's went to a bear haul, back to a race boat.
Bob, I understand the part of your calling from last year's accidents hanging up here in back of us at the Cove.
Yeah, we gave them, they're one of our sponsors, the Cove Club, so we gave them one of our broken scoops, and they've hung it up here in the bar, and lots of comments. We come here in the winter and get lots of comments on it.
Big Thunder now is really letting it all hang out, but just those 3 inches, and they're catching some air. They're trying to make up the speed they lost, and they had to stop and shut the engine down.
Leading the class, the S69 Bodyguard.
These boys hail from New York City. This is a cut-down deck boat. It's very, very fast. They have those canopies on top, which adds weight. So does Barracuda, but Barracuda has been looking good all year long, Jim.
At the top of your screen is the catamaran, the DP catamaran, battling for second with this boat in the foreground, the Barracuda, for second place in class and doing a fine job.
These are the only boats that have the outboard power. They're hooked on the back of the transom there, bolted on.
Going south. Water doesn't seem too bad again.
You know what? It's a lot smoother going south for some reason. Going back north, when they head into those winds, brother, it's a whole different ball game.
Barracuda's got third place, and he's looking at the second place boat off to his right, which is DP catamaran. He's got him in his gun sight. Here is our S45, Steve Gerlach, the driver of the MFW Racing with Lance Vincent. They're currently in fourth place.
And MFW, for those that want to know, stands for My Father's Wallet. A little allowance, I guess, involved there, Jim.
I hope so. As long as payday's on time, the boat keeps running.
Talk about your side-by-side close racing action. Check it out, Jim. Renegade on the inside, nearest to us, and the Fountain Parts and Linder runner. Oh, my, and the Renegade makes the pass as we speak.
Little cat and mouse going on as they seesaw for positions, number 1 and number 2. That's what makes racing so exciting, Stan.
Oh, yeah, don't get any better than this. These boats have the exact same power. It boils down to hull design and the driver and throttle man.
And, of course, keep those engines together.
And these engines are totally stock 500 horsepower piece, and they are hanging together right now as we speak. Good job, guys. And good job, you too, little man. Having a great time watching the waves come in, SBI style. Don't you make a move. Stick with us on Speed Vision.
For the kids, have a good time and keep cool for the summer. Love those kids. Great. Word has it, the V1 Popeyes out of the race. The V76 Fountain with Peter Meyer and Joe Stroh is the leader in class. Now we're aboard that boat earlier. Had a chance to ask Reggie Fountain why these stern drives are so important to these racing teams.
Any race will tell you that how you trim the boat is the secret of speed. They'll handle a massive amount of horsepower, which you need to go fast. They dry sump these, which means that they're pumping the oil through them rather than floating the gears in the oil all the time.
On a couple of boats is the Arneson surface drive. Compare that drive to this number 6.
Well, the Arneson surface drive is a good drive too, but the choice of the majority of people would be this. The Arneson's mostly used on the bigger boats, the big yachts, and they work real nicely there. But we go with Mercury, they're number 1 in the world, plus an outstanding drive that allows you to trim the boat.
And the trim on the V76, Mountain Mercury, leader in class, looking very good at this particular time. Firewater, second place in class behind the V76. They're having a fine race here today, steady all the way in that open cockpit boat.
And you have to finish to win. These guys, we're glad to have them back. They've been absent for a while. The Muscle Boat, the Muscle Boys. They're so much fun to have in the race site and also on the course.
Great racing between A11, the Extinguisher, and the M55. How sweet it is. 2 different classes, but they got that urge. They want to be up front. And look at this race with Barracuda coming in right between the two of them.
Boy, Barracuda slicing and dicing his way right through those boats. And look at this, Big Thunder Marine is really screaming as well on the outside.
Not too shabby for a boat that had to shut down momentarily and restart. On board with Doug Kelly and Bob Morgan. When you don't hear that sound, you know you're off the water. You got to really watch it. They did drive by sound. Hugh Fuller, Jerry Gilbreth, Hydrogen Media Fountain.
Coming up now for the north turn. They'll slow the boat down. They'll pull the drives in. They'll lower the tabs as they get ready to make the turn now. Well, you know, it's gotten cloudy. The wind's picked up a little earlier. It was just beautiful here, Jim. You never know what the weather's going to be at Deerfield. Remember last year, the skies were just jet black.
Yes, they were. 7-all. Joseph Vasquez III, Dan Campbell teaming up.
Yeah, we definitely got some confirmation from race control that they are having a problem with that starboard Arneson drive. You can see the ragged rooster tail coming off that, and they're having a hard time trimming the boat.
Currently in third place, Planet Man, Tim Chisuli and team, through the turn in leading overall and leading in class.
Amazing story. This guy was in the thick of it about 10 years ago and then dropped out, did not race at all for 10 years, came back this year and just, well, I'll tell you what, he is the class of the field so far in the new millennium.
You see that air between the two pods, the catamaran, and it gives a little lift underneath that wing. They have to trim the boat accordingly, other than just slicing through the water deep V style.
That boat's sounding good, too. It's just singing a good song. Everything is just working perfectly in that boat. I don't want to jinx them, but because 40% of all these SBI race boats, Jim, do not finish a race. Attrition counts for a lot of it.
We're on board hydrogen media fountain. They look like they're going in. They look like they're going to head in. Something must be wrong. We'll be back to find out after this timeout. The V-76 Fountain Mercury has some problems. They're heading back to the dock to join also break. They went in, so the attrition keeps rising, and here's your new leader in the V class, the 21 Firewater.
Steady as she goes. This boat we said earlier is so consistent. It's not the fastest, but it does finish races.
Big Thunder, now third overall, passing the Bodyguard, who is first in class in the stock class.
You have to tip your hat to Doug Kelly and also Bob Morgan for getting this boat back on plane. They're making it on 3 engines and doing a good job.
Miccosukee Indian Gaming looking behind them, off to the left, if you can see. Here comes the Big Thunder coming right by them with a burst of power.
They were getting ready to set up for their turn, and then they want to make sure where all the boats were. They want to maintain their line as they go through that turn.
Seminole Indian Casino now moves up to second place with Joe Vasquez and Dan Campbell. So you see if they can keep going. They move up as the attrition takes over. They're in second place.
Yeah, all they're trying to do right now is just keep this boat together enough to finish the race.
The famous female champion Betty Cook once said, if you can keep the boat going, you can place well. Placing well so far, the Planet Man, first place overall.
Yes, and doing a good job. Russ Houston on those throttle sticks. A big guy. He can really handle them. And, of course, Tim Chisuli. Welcome back, Tim. And what a way to come back the new millennium and do so well. But can he hold this boat together? We'll find out. And Jim talked to them a little earlier. He went to their camp and found out what's going on.
The Planet Man is #1 in the SBI ratings, but not by very much, so this race is very important.
Very important. You know, of course, this is a pivotal race for us. We're in the second half of the season, and we're looking for good results, Jim.
All right, Russ, what have you done to the boat since the last race?
Just a lot of preparation, make sure everything's right, make sure everything's perfect and ready to go.
Your wife says 10 years you've been out of the sport and it wasn't her idea. You get back in.
Well, you know, when you have 3 kids, you have to take care of those responsibilities. And I told her I shall return. And I think a famous general said that, or admiral, or somewhere along the line. So here we are.
MacArthur's the guy.
MacArthur. Thank you, MacArthur.
Good luck.
Thank you. And I think it was Admiral Farragut that said, damn the torpedoes, full speed ahead.
Jim, you're quite the historian, aren't you?
It's only Ollie because I've been there for so long.
You've been around a long time, my friend. Your Social Security number's 1, isn't it?
No, it's 3.
Okay.
No. John Carbonell's is 1.
Oh, I got you. Well, we mentioned it earlier. We hope they could finish the race, but apparently they cannot. The Seminole Indian Casino, Dan Campbell, Joe Vasquez are down in the water.
The S-45, 4th in the stock class. But the big cheese leading the way, all the way, is the Bodyguard. Seen right here, the S-69, Al Fiella. The driver on the gas sticks, Jeff Tindo, doing a good job.
They certainly are, but I'm checking the timesheets out. Now, you keep your eye on Bermuda Barracuda because they are gaining momentum, as is this boat, the Deep V Cat boat, on every single lap.
And they are battling for second place, and they're almost side by side. Nothing in between, with the Deep V a little bit ahead of the Barracuda for that second place battle.
This brand new Deep V Cat is about 6 feet longer than last year. It's made all the difference in the world.
It is a good-looking boat, but don't count out the Barracuda in their twin pods. Communications in the helmets, talking to each other with that outboard power. Dennis Berry on the throttles. now he's got to watch the gas sticks. The throttle man is so important. And now they're going to challenge for the lead here in the turn. On the inside is the Barracuda. He's got the shorter way around the course. Let's see what happens.
A lot of times the boats on the outside can maintain their RPM and slingshot around the corner, but it looks like the Barracuda, as Jim said, cut the corner close, cut the pins, and he's doing great.
We'll be back with more. Don't go away.
For racing history. 6 V-Bottom World Championships in one season. And as even more dominating this year. Fountain's World Championship racing technology is incorporated into every sport boat we build. At Fountain Powerboats, when we race, you win.
Welcome back to the Fountain Deerfield Beach Superboat Grand Prix. Everybody having a lot of fun except for the boats that are out of the race. One in particular is Dan Campbell and the Seminole Indian Casino.
Dan, you had a great run out there today in the Seminole Indian Casino boat, but apparently had a problem there towards the tail end of the race.
Yeah, we looks like we broke a starboard drive on it, and therefore the boat was running out of control at high speeds, even low speeds, and it just got to be with running with the other boats that somebody was going to get hurt, either us or we'd get into the spectator crowd or something like that. For safety, we just shut it down.
I'll tell you what, though, for a while there, that boat was really screaming. I've been kind of waiting for you to really cut it loose, let it loose. This boat's got all kinds of power, and today I think you're really starting to, like, maybe rev it up a little bit for us.
Yeah, water felt good. It was a nice setup. The guys did a good setup for me, and, you know, we had a lot more left, but, you know, you don't want to give it all at once, because then it just seems like in today's technology, these guys just keep coming back with stronger and stronger equipment. So in my opinion, we sit back and wait a little bit and use it when you got to have it. And I would have used it had we not had that other problem to win, anything to win.
Way to go, Stan Lane. Good report. Big Thunder Marine now in second place. And that's amazing on 3 engines, maybe.
Oh, they are screaming by the spectator fleet now. I tell you what, Bob Morgan, he has a hunger to win. But can he catch Planet Man? We'll have to see.
It remains to be seen, but we've seen some weird things today with attrition, with some of the favorite boats, or at least the big competitive boats, all of a sudden have something let go, and they're on the beach. This boat is still running, trying to catch this man, the Planet Man, who is the leader.
Tim Chesuli can almost smell that checkered flag right now, Jim, but you know what he's thinking right now is, please don't break. You know, this $65,000 motor, he's got 2 of those, of course. Even a 50-cent part can mean the end of the race for a boat.
S12 Deep V Cats, Lee Austin, the driver in this catamaran, Patricia Parton at the throttles, one of the few females in offshore racing today.
And also one of the few guys that actually hand-built this boat. He made this with his own loving hands, and he made it longer this year, and it's doing a great job.
S18 Bermuda Barracuda chasing the S69 Bodyguard for first place.
Al Fayella, S69 Bodyguard, also Jeff Dindo in there as well. Ooh, these guys came down from New York City. They crave competition.
That's what it's all about, the competition. The biggest, the fastest, the most competitive boats. Super Boat International style. At the top of your screen, to the left, the red modified M55. How sweet it is. And coming up on the inside of him is the Extinguisher, an A-class boat. Second in class, trying to catch the Extreme Stainless Marine.
Well, how sweet it is really slowed down, because there's no way an A boat could ever pass a modified boat unless the modified boat allowed it to.
Well, he's got a pretty good lead in class and doesn't have to be thwarted because he wants to maintain and save that engine.
Exactly.
The 888 Fury, third in class, Gary Easterly and Ray Delaney having a fine race here today. They're trying to catch this boat the first place in A class, the Extreme Stainless Marine.
These boats so evenly matched. One's 30 feet, one's 29. They look almost identical except for the paint job, but the rigging is entirely different inside each one of these boats.
Every boat has the personality of its crew, and that is an extension of their racing abilities.
And those personalities all boil down to who will take the checkered flag. And Jim, the checkered flags are being brought out. We're not far from the finish now.
No, we're not. And here comes the number 8, Planet Man, Tim Chesuli, Russ Houston. Take the checker flag. They are the Superboat winner, their overall winner here today.
Oh, great job, guys. Tremendous race for Planet Man.
Tim Chesuli has got to be elated inside that enclosed cockpit.
Certainly does. In this boat, boy, you got to tip your head to them. They're in second place. They had all kinds of problems all day long, but they kept it together on a Band-Aid. Bob Morgan, good job.
Look at the battle in the stock class. The S-18 Bermuda Barracuda is going to pass. He's going to pass the Bodyguard. The checkered flag is waiting. It's going to be a photo finish. The checkered flag falls. My God, Barracuda won.
Oh, my goodness. Calm down. Jim, you're going to have a heart attack. What is great racing. That is cool. And in the F2 class, it looks like it's going to be Fountain Parts Unlimited Marine. Oh, they've had a great, great year, and that's going to put a smile on Reggie Fountain's face because he was a little upset about the other boats that dropped out, but he can smile about this one because they take it in F2.
And speaking of smiling, Stan, the V-21 Firewater. Steady competition, going for a Sunday ride. All three crew members relaxing because they have just won their second Superboat International race of the year.
Kind of like the old story about the tortoise and the hare, although this boat will run 112 miles an hour, so it's not really a tortoise, it's very fast.
It was a great race, Stan, in all classes. Lots of seesaw battles, some surprises in attrition, some boats recovering. I think it was exciting.
Exciting it certainly was as we zoom in now on your winner in Superboat and your winner overall, Tim Chasuli, Russ Houston, Planet Man. And that caricature, courtesy of Mr. Ricky, Vapor Trails Boating News.
And Superboat Grand Prix has been brought to you by the city of Deerfield Beach. Powerboats, because there is a difference. And by Seminole Indian Casino. Catch the excitement. Welcome back. It's been a great day of racing, Stan Lane.
You are correct, sir. It's been a great time. We always have a tremendous time coming here. These are your Superboat final results. Planet Man with 505 points. Let's make our way down to the docks now and talk to the winning team, Tim Chasuli. Great job.
This is 3 wins in a row for us now, so we're pretty solidly in the first place.
Now, the course out there.
Was a little rough at one end. We knew we had to have a perfect execution on every corner, and we didn't hold nothing back.
The Super V winner is Firewater with 502 points, with perseverance and consistency paying off for that team.
With these Stotler reliable motors that we have here, it's not always the fastest boat that wins, but it's the most dependable.
How sweet it is certainly Happy, the modified winner.
It was a bumpy race, and it got rougher out there as we kept going. Competition's tough. We're running a real reliable, strong, well-built boat.
The Class B finals, the Muscle B1 ends up the winner.
As soon as the green flag went, we didn't see anybody else out there in our class, and we dominated the whole time.
Is there any stopping that black machine?
Apparently not. We're going on, just going to win, win, win. This is its 23rd checkered flag, and we look to get 4 or 5 more this year.
Oh, what a great battle it was in stock. But S-18 Bermuda Barracuda persevered over S-69 Bodyguard. Great run.
What a race. We had a good race going with Deep B Cats for a while. They kept us honest. Bodyguard kind of got away from us. And then that 30-foot Spectre, Jay built a good one because it started getting loose. And we picked up probably 40 seconds in the last couple laps.
In a 30-foot cat with those rollers out there, Chris, you guys were catching some air.
We really let it go, especially last couple laps. We were just hanging it right on the edge, and it was so much fun. Got to give a lot of credit to Bodyguard, though, and Deep B Cats. They really gave us a really good race today.
Stepping down to production A6 Extreme Stainless Marine. Oh, man, what a run they had. Guys, let me say, you are definitely numero uno.
We're working hard at it all year long. As long as we can keep going, it's a long, hard road to get to this top, and we're trying to stay there.
Parts Unlimited Marine, another Fountain Hall, persevered today. F215, the winner.
We really nailed the turns. David hit the throttles right when he needed to. It was a good race. I mean, that cigarette boat was right beside us in turn 1. We went under him in turn 2 and 3, and that was it.
But the cigarette boat finally got smoked, didn't it?
We smoked that cigarette, and we're looking forward to running him again in New Jersey.
National high points so far. Planet Man leads the way by a little bit over Hydrogen Media Fountain Boat. We have a tie in the Super V class with Popeye and Firewater, identical 1776. Fountain Mercury only 56 points behind. In stock class, leading is the Barracuda. Well, we've had a great time here today. We really have, haven't we, Stan?
Certainly did. Always do. I love Deerfield Beach, and I love to party.
Does it all at SBI Love the Party. Reggie Fountain smiling with the winners. He presented the trophies. For more information, www.speedvision.com. Superboat International, produced by Diamond P Sports in association with Speed Vision. For Stan Lane, I'm Jim Hendrick. So long, everybody.